Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Before I begin with today's video, don't forget to join my new Discord server Luke A10's Hangar. I plan on joining weekly, so if anybody wants to fly together, we can make that happen. My Discord server is linked down in the description below. Today, I'll be flying the Mitsubishi A7M2 Reppu. The A7M2 was a Japanese naval fighter aircraft developed during World War II. The A7M2 was developed by the Mitsubishi Aircraft Company as an improvement over the earlier A7M1, which was a promising design but faced issues in production. Only 10 A7Ms were produced, 8 of which were the A7M2 variant. The goal was to create a highly effective naval fighter that could compete with Allied aircraft. The A7M2 featured a powerful radial engine, specifically the Mitsubishi HA43-11, which provided significant power and improved performance. The aircraft was designed with an emphasis on high speed and maneuverability, incorporating a large wingspan and a robust airframe. The A7M2 entered service in the final years of World War II. However, due to the war's progression and the focus of Japanese industry on other priorities, it saw limited deployment. Although it was an advanced design, the A7M2's operational impact was minimal. It faced challenges such as fuel shortages, production delays, and the superior numbers and technology of Allied aircraft. The aircraft was regarded as a capable design by those who flew it. After World War II, the A7M2, like many other Japanese aircraft, was not widely used or developed further. Its role in the war was overshadowed by the more extensive use of other aircraft types. Overall, the A7M2 was a testament to Japan's engineering capabilities during the late stages of World War II, but its impact was limited by the broader context of the war's final years. That's all for the history lesson. I hope you enjoy the combat. Now I'm in the first game and I'm just trying to climb as high as I can because I want to try and boom and zoom people. I see this lone Corsair below me. I'm going to dive on him now because I know that the enemies are pretty far from me. You always want to be careful whenever you dive like this. Even though the enemies are pretty far from me, I don't know how long I'm going to be down here for. I've seen it so many times where there will be an enemy who goes for me. It's extremely early into the game and they lose all of their altitude and don't climb back up again and then they just die. It's really not a smart thing to do. I'm doing this solely because the Corsair doesn't see me and he's not reacting. I know he's trying to drop his bombs on my base. I want to make sure that I do not get into the crossfire of that. If you get too close to the bombs as they explode, you will probably die or at least get very crippled. As I come up behind this Corsair, I need to make sure that I do not overshoot. I know I can definitely outmaneuver this guy fairly easily. I pushed my nose down too late, so I unfortunately pass out, but that's okay. I still have my power killed and I'm going to make sure that I do not overshoot. I dump my flaps here. I dump my flaps so I can fly slower and tighten up my turns. As I'm in this dogfight, I look to my right, always being aware of my surroundings. Now I'm going to try to get a shot off on the Corsair. Just like that, I'm able to take him out. I was down here for a lot longer than I wanted to. I'm going to start my climb now so I can hopefully be above a lot of people. And as I'm in the climb, I'm always looking around me, being aware of all my surroundings. I see this enemy P-51 on my ally TU-2. I'm going to try to help my ally out. Before I dive, I'm going to look to my left, always being aware of all my surroundings. Now I'm going to dive. The P-51's too focused on getting this kill, gets tunnel visioned, and I take him out. I hear shots to my left, see an enemy Bearcat. I need to climb. As I'm coming back around, I see that he's turning back into me. I'm going to try to energy trap him because I know that I'm higher than him and I have a lot more energy than he does. Of course, this absolute numbskull follows me up. I'm pretty much just baiting myself so that then my ally can get the kill. And thankfully he does. If you see somebody climbing back up to altitude just like I was trying to energy trap somebody and you do not match their energy, please do not follow them up. 9 times out of 10 you will die, you will stall, and they will just dive back down on you. The only time where I'd really follow somebody up is if I had more energy than them. But then again, you really have to know what aircraft you're flying and your energy retention. Now there are only 2 enemy aircraft left in the game. They're both at their airfield. I need to play smart. Smart as in I'm not going to commit suicide by diving down to their airfield trying to kill one of them and then dying to the anti-aircraft. An example of what not to do is watching the Arado that literally just did everything that I said not to do. The Arado is the AR-234 that just died in the kill feed. The Arado is a German jet bomber. All I have to do is just stay up at altitude and wait this guy out. I know that he's not going to move and we're about to win. I go into full reel controls just to put me into a shallow bank and wait for the win. And just like that, we win the game. Now I'm in the second game and I'm just going to do the exact same thing that I did in the previous game. Climb as high as I can and boom and zoom people. There are 2 bombers in the distance. I see a B-17 that's fairly close to me. I'm going to try to climb up to him and see if I can get a couple hits on him. Unfortunately, as I'm climbing up to hopefully try and kill this B-17, I see this enemy Bearcat and an enemy P-51 right next to him. I know that they're going to be very powerful if they climb up to me, so I'm going to break off with the B-17. I know that I'm the highest fighter in the game. I see that my teammates are in a fight below me. I'm going to dive down and I'm going to look around me, always being aware of all my surroundings. This P-51 doesn't even know that I'm here. I'm going to try to kill him. Fire at him here. and I take him out. Now I'm going to climb back up to altitude, always being aware of all my surroundings. Then I see a bear cat right behind me. I'm going to try to kill him too. As I'm turning back around to hopefully try and kill the bear cat, he's in a horrible position here. He stalls. I'm going to use this to my advantage. I have to make sure that I don't get tunnel vision though. I'm going to look to my right, always being aware of my surroundings. Fire at him here. Thankfully, rip his flap off. Now we're in a dogfight. I'm going to kill my power so I don't overshoot. I've got a ton of teammates around me, so it's really just who's going to get the kill first. This guy's not going to outmaneuver any of us. I hit him again here. As he crosses my nose again, I fire at him again here, rip his second flap off, and unfortunately my teammate steals him. I know I could have taken my very well-deserved kill there, but I didn't because I didn't want to run the risk of me getting team killed. I'm presuming that my ally Zero is probably just an idiot who thinks that he didn't steal anything. It's totally fine though. I'm going to climb back up to altitude, always being aware of all my surroundings. I see this P-51 in front of me. I'm going to go for him. But before I even get to him, he's shot out of the sky by the entire Japanese Air Force. Now there are only 2 enemy bombers left in the game. I'm just going to use this to my advantage and ground pound. I'm also going to be killing the AI enemy strike aircraft because I really do not want to lose off tickets. You absolutely have to make sure that you are aware of how long you're staying behind the enemy strike aircraft because they have extremely good bat gunners who will kill you. As I'm coming up to this other A-26B, I'm going to fire at him here. Hit him. Give him a really bad oil leak. Now I'm going to dive away as quick as I can so I don't get shot at. But of course I catch fire. I'm going to dive away here. And then as I become straight and level, I have my wing on fire. I need to make sure that I step on the fire, so that means I'm going to use my left rudder and put myself into a slip. It's kind of hard to do a slip like that whenever you don't have the precise movements. I also have no control over my ailerons now. That's another reason why it was very sloppy. Thankfully the fire's out. If you don't want the fire to spread, you always want to remember to step on the fire, so that means slip into the way that the fire is. You want the flames away from the fuel in the cabin. Right now I'm just going to try to head back to the Ally aircraft carrier. Thankfully you don't need ailerons to fly. I'm still going to try to make it back as best as I can. Right now I'm aiming for the middle aircraft carrier. I need to make sure that I make this a no flap landing. I really don't want to get too slow here and stall. I drop my gear here and add power as needed. All I need to do is keep the wings level. A very sloppy landing with a prop strike, but any landing you can walk away from is a good one. Once again I defy all the odds being the legendary pilot that I am and making it back safely. Now I'm repaired and rearmed, I'm just going to take off again. Right now I'm just climbing as high as I can looking for this last bomber. He's either going to be high in the sky, so I'm looking for a contrail, or he's just going to be at his airfield. If you don't know what a contrail is the white smoke you see behind an aircraft engine high in the sky. Whenever you're in a cold place and you breathe out of your mouth, you see the white condensation come out. That's a contrail. It's the same thing with aircraft engines. Since it's so cold up at altitude and your engine's so hot, you make that condensation. Contrails is short for condensation trails. I open up my map and see the red square on the map. The red square means that the enemy is in that square somewhere. I see the last enemy PB4Y. I see my ally Key-48 already going for him. I know it's probably over and we'll probably win the game. And just like that, the enemy bomber crashes and we win the game. Thank you everybody for watching and I hope you enjoyed my video. If anybody has any suggestions on what aircraft they want me to fly next, please leave them in the comment section down below and I'd be happy to fly the aircraft.